I see most car sales reps get stuck around making $10,000 per month in their career. Okay. And at this point in time, I've been in the car business for about 3 years, right? And I've talked to hundreds of car salesmen over this duration. And one of the most common things that I see is a lot of people get stuck in their career roughly 1, 2, 3 years in, like around that range, they start to hit like a plateau where they're not necessarily growing as quickly as they were initially when they got into sales, right? And sales is a great career once you go from a minimum wage job or working as a server or whatever you were doing beforehand and getting into sales, and the money's great and all. But what happens after a while is you start working really hard and you're making decent money, but you don't really have any quality of life, and it kind of deteriorates because you're not progressing anymore and you're not able to create a lifestyle that you want to create because you're not making enough to be able to afford to not go in on your days off based off of what you're doing. So it's kind of like this perpetual cycle of just making decent money, but never really continuing to progress in your career. And quite frankly, there's a lot of people that get stuck in this twilight zone too, even if it's 5 to 10 years, even, 20 years and beyond, right? People stay stuck at this zone. So I kind of want to explain like why this happens and how you can get past it, right? As a car sales professional. And so this is kind of like the death valley of car sales as a car sales professional because a lot of people get stuck here, right? So most car sales reps are in general agreement that they're their own business, right? Like that's what gets preached to us when we get into the car business is you're your own business, like you're in charge of how much money that you get to make, which is true for the most part, right? Until you start to realize that you consistently start making the same amount of money after every single month after a while, because what ends up happening is there's only so many faces that you see within a month. There's only so many opportunities that the dealership consistently generates in order for you to make a sale. And the thing is, the dealership is going to spend they're in control of the amount of money that they spend and what marketing that they do on the front end to give you the opportunities, right? And so when you're solely dependent on the dealership, you're really not in control of you don't really have a business because the dealership runs the whole marketing side of things, right? So the problem is people have no idea what it takes to really build a business, right? And when you fundamentally understand what a business is made up of, it's made up of three things, which is product, sales, and then the last one's marketing. Okay. And so as a car sales professional, what you have access to is the product, which is amazing because the dealership takes on all of the risk. They take on all of the products, all of the downsides of starting up the dealership. All you have to go ahead and do is come in and sell the cars and bring people in. However, most people over the years get good at sales just through contact, right? It's like they're swinging a bat multiple hundreds of times all the time, right? But what ends up happening is the marketing side of things is never developed. There's literally like no training on it at all. And it's actually kind of a little bit sad because no dealership has it at their on the inside. What they kind of do is they train you for like maybe a month or two and then throw you to the dogs, and then they give you a list of numbers to phone up and tell you to go sit on point. And like that's basically the reality for like 99% of car salesmen. So most sales guys have two of the three, which is product and sales, which usually will get people to 100, in some cases 150K per year, right? And that's not a bad place to be, but when you're kind of plateaued at that and you want more, and life kind of gets mundane after a while. It's like what's when you feel progress and you feel the most like growth in your career is as you grow up to get to six figures. But once you're at six figures, it's like you've you're coasting, right? Because like when you're in a car, you feel the acceleration of the vehicle. That's what feels like speed. But then once you get up to the specific like 60 miles an hour, you don't feel the speed anymore, right? So that's what the reality of for most sales guys' careers. All right, there's outliers, right? There's people that make 300, 400K per year from their dealership because they get fed, there's politics, whatever, right? I'm not saying they don't exist, but that's like the top 1% of car salesmen. Most people get stuck around here if they even get to 100K. A lot of people get stuck below that, like 70, 80, But what ends up happening is when you only have two of those three components, you're basically a top performing sales rep. You're like a glorified sales rep. You're not your own business owner. Yeah, you're building up your clientele, but it takes you like decades to get to that level. And we all know like people within their dealership that have that one person that's been there for decades on end, like 10, 20, almost maybe 30 years, where they built up so much clientele that they consistently get referrals from just being in the business for so dang long. So if you don't want to wait that long, there's no other real way to break past this plateau rather than gradually chipping away at it as you get more market share within the local area, because more people learn about you, know you, more people have been through your sales process. So in order to make it past this point and really get into the top one producers of the industry is simply the one skill of marketing and generating your own business. Okay. Because once you break past the plateau, it comes from being able to control the flow of your business. Because once you have that marketing piece, you have a full business. Because at the end of the day, numbers in equals sales out, right? So once you control the flow of the opportunities that come in through the door, then you control the number of sales that come out on your end and how much money that you make every single month. And that's what a lot of the car gurus or other, sales trainers or other people that are in this industry really won't tell you, is that, they have like their entire dealerships behind them, that they're supporting them, paying for their advertising, feeding them deals, all these other things that are happening behind the scenes that a lot of people don't get told about, right? And a lot of people are left scratching their head like, oh, why is this person selling like 60, 70, 80, 90, 100 cars a month when I'm not even remotely close, right? And that's because they are marketing, and their dealership's either marketing for them or they're feeding them, whatever it is. It's because they have control over this aspect of their business. And as a car sales professional, you're basically a dealership within a dealership. But you have to understand that this is the one skill that you are missing. So marketing yourself allows you to get business and control and consistency over your growth, right? So marketing at the end of the day is just fundamentally getting yourself in front of more people. There's plenty of great ways to go ahead and do that. And I've made plenty of videos about this in the past as to how you can go ahead and market yourself and how you can get yourself in front of more people, get more local exposure, have more people know what you do, how you can help them out, and position yourself as a problem solver so more people come to you to get their transportation needs solved. Okay. So realistically, I wanted to bring this to your guys' awareness that, it's very important to learn this high income skill, because sales will only get you so far. You also need to learn the skill of marketing as a car sales professional, right? Because once you get to the, a high closing percentage, you're sitting at like a, 40, 50, 60% close ratio. Like there's only so much that closing can do there's only so many home runs you can hit when you only get so many pitches, right? So that's essentially the problem and the nuance here. So what I highly suggest doing is, if you want to learn more about, just more strategies and more in-depth tips and tricks to go ahead and generate your own leads, then just go through like other previous YouTube videos of mine, subscribe, of course, if you'd like the videos, comment if you'd like to learn more about if there's anything in specific that you guys would like to see, or if you'd like to see if you can get my help specifically with marketing and learning how to generate your own opportunities. Book a call with me down below using the link, and I can see if I can help you out, learn how to generate your own leads. And moving from there, I'll catch you guys in another video. I appreciate you guys for watching this one. Catch you in another one. Bye.